Victor Sellers, I'm glad I caught you before you did anything stupid. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Chuckles Mulrooney, attorney for the damned. May I come in? Nice decor. Kind of post-apocalyptic Brady Bunch. You could have done better for yourself. 1.6 million for your eternal soul? Not much of a deal, Victor.
You don't say.
Yep. You could have netted at least 2 million and written a real book. Not that I didn't like Fanny the fluffy little kitten, of course. If I had kids, I'm sure they'd love it. But a mere 1.6 mil? You didn't even try and sweeten the deal?
I wasn't aware one could haggle with the devil.
That's the problem with kids today. You all don't think twice about paying retail. Listen, here's my offer. You got tricked, and there's nothing you can do about that. But you should realize how much money you can make in the course of your life. What I'm offering you is this. I get half of everything you make. In return, I'll get you back your immortal soul.
Who exactly the fuck are you? I'm supposed to believe you're some kind of clown lawyer? How did you find out about my deal?
I'm not a clown lawyer. I'm an attorney for the damned. It's my business to find people like you. I find loopholes in contracts with the devil and get my clients' souls back. For this service, I get half of everything they make from said contract.
And you dress like Ronald McDonald. Why?
I do this because I was once just like you, Victor. I used to be a struggling lawyer. I worked hard, very hard, but I just didn't have the goods. I wanted to be the greatest lawyer of all time. Better than Cochran, better than Darrow, better than all of them. The devil came to me while I was buying condoms at 7-Eleven, and we hashed out a deal. He gets my soul, and I get to be the greatest lawyer that ever lived.
So, what happened?
He came through on his end. I mean, I'm the greatest. A legal Muhammad Ali. And I have a photographic memory of every case and precedent in the history of mankind. Not just America, mind you, but every case that's ever come to trial anywhere under any system. You should hear some stories about Cro-Magnon law. Fascinating stuff. And that Cherokee legal system, where they slice open your scrotum, insert a burning coal, then sew it back up again? Now that's capital punishment. At any rate, I'm the best lawyer of all time. The devil came through on his deal. He added one little clause, though. Every day I wake up with the uncontrollable urge to dress like a circus clown. I can't help it.
If dressing like a clown is wrong, you don't want to be right?
Don't be a smartass, Victor. The first thing I do in the morning is shower. The second thing I do is put on the grease paint. You should see my wardrobe. It looks like a trailer from Barnum and Bailey. Satan scammed my ass. He is, if you'll pardon the expression, one crafty old devil. They don't call him the trickster for nothing. I have all this legal prowess, and I can't use it in a real court of law. But you know what? He fucked with the wrong guy. About a week after realizing the best suit I'd ever wear would have the bozo label on it, I decided to kill myself. Why bother living for another 30 or 40 years? It's only a tick of the clock anyway, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Then it hit me. That's exactly what he wants. That's why he tricks us. So he can get our souls faster. I found out later he's got a monthly quota to fill. Who would have thought that?
A quota?
Anyway, that tricking stuff got me thinking. If he can trick us, play with the wording, come up with new meanings, then it means the contract is just a starting off point. It's open to interpretation, if you follow the logic. Then, I decided to get even with the fork-tailed bastard.
Get even? With the devil?
I decided to represent people who've made deals with the devil and get them out of their contracts. I do this for 3 reasons. First, I'm getting amazingly rich off it. Second, because I'll keep doing it until he tears up my contract and gives me my soul back. Third, I do it just to piss him off.
You want to piss off Satan?
Piss him off and teach him a geography lesson. This is America. You don't fuck with a lawyer.
You've done this before, right?
Sure. The devil hands out deals for fame and fortune all the time. You don't need talent to be famous, just a good contract. Bob Saget was my first client. I just found a loophole in the Britney Spears contract. And you should see the renegotiation I did for Ryan Seacrest.
I always wondered how he did it. And you think this is going to work?
I think it will work. But this is up to you. As your legal counsel, I have to warn you that Satan won't be happy to hear from me. If we don't succeed, you'll be in for a pretty rough eternity.
There's varying degrees of hell?
Sure. As you may have guessed, Satan isn't a nice guy. If you think burning in eternal flame is the worst he can do, you've got another thing coming.
So, if I hire you, and we don't win, then I'm fucked.
Let's face it, Victor, you're already fucked. It's just a question of degree. Personally, I think we're going to kick his fork-tailed ass all over the place. In a metaphorically legal sense, of course. But it's up to you.
Fuck him. I was misled in this contract, and I want out.
That's the spirit, kid.
What's that?
A writ of formal protest. The party in the first part, Satan, has entered into a binding agreement with the party of the second part, you. And the party of the second part finds the contract inconclusive with his original intention of verbal agreement. Then the party of the first part, when formally served with this writ of notice, becomes...
Whatever. What's it mean in layman's terms?
It means, as soon as you sign this, Satan, or an official representative, has to come here and do battle.
Battle?
A legal debate, if you prefer. It all comes down to a battle for your soul. Just sign here.
After I sign? How long till we get our day in court?
It happens immediately. No judge, just me and the legal representative of Satan. Just sign it, Victor. You got something better to do first? Like maybe wait for Fanny the Fluffy Little Kitten's Saturday morning cartoon to be all the rage?
pissed off. I want you to know I was in the power tools aisle of a Home Depot in Des Moines, closing in on an aspiring actor.
Gee, that's too bad.
So, you and I finally meet on the field of battle.
It's a long cry from the condom aisle at 7-Eleven, eh, pal?
Wait, finally? Chuckles, what does he mean, finally? I thought you'd done this before. Did he tell you he's lost 2 in a row? Did he tell you about those poor, tortured souls? Is that true? You've lost your last 2 cases?
Don't sweat it, kid. I've still got a winning record.
I'd hardly parade 5 wins and 4 losses as a winning record, Chuckles. He didn't tell you how much, did he, Victor? You really should ask more questions. I bet you always buy retail.
My client's shopping habits are irrelevant. Satan, you knowingly misled my client into a fraudulent contractual obligation. Since Mr. Sellers did not fully understand the agreement into which he entered, he is free of any obligation to you.
Your client had the opportunity to review the contract. Your client waived that right. Ignorance of the contract's content is not a defense.
There is also breach of said non-obligatory contract. My client wanted to be a horror writer.
He is. I happen to be quite terrified of fluffy kittens. Horror is in the eye of the beholder, wouldn't you agree?
Cultural definitions of horror are the standard. However, the eye of the beholder in this case happens to be the marketplace.
Yes, but you forget. Simpson versus the state of California. In that case, it was established that societal standards of behavior are irrelevant in the face of physical evidence, and I believe you'd accept the contract your client signed as physical evidence.
True, true. But in the case of Grog versus He Who Walks Like Death Amongst Men, 16,301 BC, you yourself ruled that the verbal agreement is more important than the written contract.
You're citing Grog as a precedent? They didn't even have writing then. They signed deals by leaving teeth marks on sticks, for crying out loud.
What you say is true, but a precedent is still a precedent.
Grog. You're using Grog.
Been saving old grog just for you. Does that piss you off? Back to the subject at hand. Since we've established that the verbal is the primary form of agreement, and nowhere in your contract does it specifically state that all verbal agreements are secondary to the written form, then we must gather that your verbal agreement with my client takes precedence over the written contract, correct?
That's a fucking loophole, and you know it!
There are no loopholes. There are only interpretations. You said you would make my client a horror writer, and there are no societal standards anywhere on Earth that would construe Fanny the Fluffy Little Kitten as horror. Ergo, you, Satan, my friend, are in breach of contract.
Soon, very soon, I'll have you where I want you. I'm going to take a century's vacation when you die. Do you hear me, Mulrooney? A century! I'll invent tortures that will make you beg ceaselessly!
Hey, Satan, how's that quota coming anyway? You know, I've got 2 more cases coming up. All you have to do is rip up my contract and I'll let them slide.
You'll run out of loopholes sooner or later. I'll keep making the contracts tighter and tighter, you fucking clown lawyer!
I'm not a clown lawyer. I'm an attorney for the damned. Don't forget, Beelzebubba, you made me the best. I'll keep finding ways to beat you.
We'll see. We'll see. What just happened?
You're off the hook, kid. Your soul is your own again.
What about Fanny the fluffy little kitten?
The invalidation of the contract frees up any and all intellectual property rights generated from said contract. All rights revert to the creator, free and clear of contractual obligations. What? You can publish the Fluffy Kitty book and your soul still belongs to you. Don't forget, I get half. Remember, I found a loophole for you. I can just as easily find a loophole against you, should you try and renege.
I just want to write horror stories. If I'm truly out, can't I just not publish the stupid kid's book?
Hello?
Victor, this is Morty. Listen, this shit is blowing up, my friend. Joshua's college roommate happens to be Charlize Theron's agent. We sent the story to the agent, and guess what?
Charlize Theron wants to make a movie of my book?
Hell yes! She wants to play Fanny, and get this. She said she wants a private meeting with you so she can convince you how badly she wants it. I heard mention of a kitty costume.
Charlize Theron, in a kitty costume. Meeting with me.
You're rich, kiddo. Rich to the tune of $8 million.
Well, that call sounded positive. So, just how much are you making for me?
How much? We'll make $8 million. Or should I say, I'll make $8 million.
A vacation? You're taking a vacation? For how long?
A century. I haven't taken a vacation since humans beat the Black Plague.
But the whole century? What the hell are you going to do with that much time?
I've got a few things in mind. Did I ever tell you how much I hate lawyers?
Mm-hmm.